Hello investors, this is Alex from the Go Coaching Club, and beside me is my partner and our lead coach, Rateb Shakur. And in today's video lesson, I want to share with you guys what are the four major activities in real estate investing.
The four major activities are finding the deal, funding the deal, fixing or rehabbing the deal, and then selling it. And those are the four major. There are quite a few other things that fall in those categories, which are the subcategories, like knowing your market and finding who to work with, private investors, all of that. But the four major ones are basically those.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit more? Like say for example, what do you mean when you actually talk about finding the deal?
Yeah, finding the deals, you definitely got to work with private investors. You got to do enough marketing to get lots of leads, and out of those, you work with the people that are motivated and are really want to sell the property. And people who are not motivated, they definitely want market value, which you cannot do a whole lot if they are asking for market value, and they are not offering you favorable terms. So you really got to work with people who are motivated and kind of do not spend your time or waste your time on the deals that are not going to be great deals for you.
Okay, and then the second thing you mentioned is also
funding the deal.
Okay.
Funding the deal is when you buy a property, you definitely got to finance it. Now, most of the time, you can really, or the way we have done it, or we teach our people, our clients and students, is to find the properties where you can get really great favorable terms, and you ask for owner financing, which the homeowner can owner finance, or you buy the property subject to. Yeah, that means basically you buy properties, leave the existing mortgage intact just the way it is, and you make the payments on that, where it does not require your own money or your own credit. But in either way, if you are buying those properties, most of the time it does need some money. It may not be your money, but you got to find the money, like private investors, to fund the deal of closing it, rehabbing it, and also if the mortgage is behind, you bring it current with private investors' funds. So that you got to take care of before you find the deal. And we always recommend that you find the money before you find the deals, because most of the time, if you're finding a deal and you do not have enough time, you might lose it because you don't have the money.
Yeah, this is especially true in states like ours in Georgia and also in Texas and similar states where the foreclosure process is very aggressive. In Georgia, it's about what, 21 business days?
21 business days. It's actually from the time that the foreclosure information comes on newspaper or publishes on newspaper till the day they take it to foreclosure to county share of sales is going to be 30 days, so actually 21 business days.
Yeah, so there's really no saying, it's like what you want to do is actually borrow money when you don't need to. There's nothing worse than having a great deal in your hand and watching it dissolve or evaporate because you couldn't line up the financing fast enough. So that's very, very critical right there. In a future video, we're going to talk about the difference between no money down deal and also using other private lenders deal. But for now, just make a note of that you definitely want to have your financing lined up. So
exactly.
And the third thing you're talking about is actually fixing or rehabbing the deal.
Yeah. One of the things we do, which we recommend, and I have never done myself personally, is rehab the properties, but you don't have to do it yourself. You find great people to work with. You find very good contractors and general contractors to do all your work for you. Because if you're painting the property yourself, you're working on activities that are going to pay $10 to $15 an hour, and that's not what real estate investing is about. What I would like you to do is focus on activities that are going to pay you large sums of money, and painting the property is not one of the ones, or even anything that has to do with rehabbing is not one of those activities. So what we recommend, you find people to do that work for you, and you focus on finding great deals and selling great deals.
And if you're concerned that basically that you can't pay somebody $8 to $10 to either maintain the lawn or paint the house or things like that, then odds are the deal probably doesn't have enough equity, right? I mean, if the deal can't even support somebody paying where you can pay them $8 to $10 to take care of it, what's probably happening is that you're probably not doing sufficient marketing to find the really great deals. I mean, we never touch this stuff ourselves.
Definitely.
So, okay. And then the last one is selling quickly, which I think 99% of investors really never pay attention to.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows that you make money when you're buying the property, and you really make money then, but you realize your profit and you cash a check when you sell the property. So I recommend that when you buy a property, when you're working on buying property, you start selling it the minute you put a contract on a property. Do not wait till everything is closed, the house is yours. As soon as you have a contract on a property, you start selling it. And so you would save lots of time, and you would also save lots of money, because if you don't hold the house for another extra 2 to 3 months, that's 2 to 3 months of holding costs, which can cost you anywhere between 1,000 to 2, depending on the value of the property. But you can save that money, and that'll be saving each deal, which is going to add up if you do more than 5 or 10 deals a year.
Now you're talking about 1,000, 2,000. That's $1,000, $2,000 per month per house, right?
Per house, per month, exactly.
Yeah, and we're actually in a fairly moderate price market here in Atlanta, Georgia, which is where we're shooting this from. If you're talking about areas in California or Florida, anywhere in the Northeast or in the Northwest, you're probably talking closer like around what, $1,500, maybe $2,000, $3,000 a month per house, right?
Exactly, and that 2,000 to 3,000 per month, that may not just cover your monthly expenses or monthly mortgage payments. Everything else that comes along with it, like your electricity bill, your gas, water, cutting the grass, all the maintenance, all of those are going to be additional to your mortgage payments.
Yeah, so folks, again, the 4 major activities, just to summarize, is actually finding the deal,
Yep.
actually funding the deal, or sometimes called financing the deal, then either rehabbing or fixing it,
Yep.
and then selling quickly. And the last one is the one that we definitely want to emphasize. Definitely do not underestimate that actually how much it costs to actually sell the house and how long it's going to take to sell the house. Because if you don't factor that in, what started as a profitable deal could easily turn out to be an unprofitable deal.
Definitely. Sometimes most investors think real estate, or investors that hasn't done real estate the right way, think that real estate may not be profitable because they didn't do the right things. They did everything right, but the last thing that they had to do were selling the property fast. They didn't focus enough on that, and that's why the deals were not profitable for them.
Okay. So again, folks, this is Alex and Rated, and this is another video lesson that we want to share with you guys. And again, we're with the Go Coaching Club, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys on our next lesson.